What is up, you bushy boys and girls? Back at it again with another dang bushy fitness vid. Today we're gonna talk about why the average bush should care about fitness. Let's say you never have, you hate exercise. So let me try to persuade you, as I may say, to try to get healthy, try to get fit, because that way you can be your best average bush. Before we get started, don't forget to follow the dang TikTok, Instagram. Again, Editor Bush is enjoying being able to use the dang MacBook for his editing, better quality videos, just everything. It's awesome. I'm gonna go over 5 points here. So the first one is, who wouldn't want to look better? You don't have to be in that athletic body fat of 12 to 15%, because that is not sustainable. And yeah, if you haven't checked out my recent videos, I did one about body fat, where you should be, how ripped you should be if you want to be considered fit. Because the BMI, dang, another video, doesn't really show you what a good body looks like. Everyone is different. That is why fitness is good and bad. But when you're gaining muscle, yeah, you're obviously gonna weigh a little bit more, so those weights compared to the height and weight are a little skewed for the BMI. It's nice to just look in the mirror and be proud of your body, even though you're not gonna win Mr. Olympia. Well, maybe the dang Mr. Olympia in the mirror. I'm a 69-time champ, by the way. Just having that mental clarity of knowing that you are taking care of yourself makes a lot of difference, I promise. And I try not to be too scientific or use a lot of data on this channel. It is on my own personal experiences and opinions. So yeah, you don't have to listen to the old bush, just click off, if you don't even give a hoot what I have to say. The second reason is to live longer. Cardiovascular disease, or your heart, hence cardio, you are really helping your most important muscle, which is your heart, getting that resting heart rate down. That way your blood pressure is lower and you can live longer. Because cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer around the dang world. Number 3, creating better habits, like your food, your sleep. That was the big things that really fixed for me once I was done playing sports and decided to go into the dang bodybuilding. Shout out Universal, by the way. Can't wait to go back. I see they have the Nintendo World coming up. And this will get rid of bad habits as well, such as drugs, alcohol. You'll be concerned about treating your body better. And yes, it sounds boring. Of course, you can have, for example, like a drink of alcohol every once in a while, but have it in moderation. That is the key. Just having it every now and then, not all the dang time, because that is when we create the bad habit. It's like gaining weight. The reason you are so heavy in the first place is days and days of decisions of over-consuming calories. It is not off of 1 or 2 bad nights. It takes about a month, I would say, to create a healthy habit. So don't rush yourself. Things will take time. That is why I love bodybuilding. It is a constant grind. And that leads into the 4th, something to improve on. So you can improve on your weights, your cardio. If you're into something like calisthenics or training for a sport specifically, you are always trying to get better. And that is what makes anything fun, just the willingness to improve. And sometimes I don't feel fit or muscular, but then I look at the average person, when I'm at the gym, I'm seeing everyone with their dang tank tops on. Some of them are bigger than me, and that kind of hurts my feelings. But then I'm at the grocery store and I see the average person, they got the big old beer belly. Here, let me go up. The beer belly. And I'm like, wow, I actually am pretty fit. So you should really not compare to other people, just your past self, because you will see those top, 0.001 percenters get discouraged, quit. That's why I try to stay off, at least scrolling on social media for a while. Of course I gotta post stuff, so I'd be lying if I said I was completely off social media. But even gaining like 5 pounds of muscle in a year, I would take that, being 3 years into my training. Because you get your newbie gains, and essentially in a year, you'll double how strong you are. If you hadn't done any training, any consistent training at all before for like a sport or anything, you'll be amazed by the results. So just give it a try. Not gonna make all your results in one day, of course. And yeah, stay away from drugs, do it natty. there is no reason to do that unless you want to, compete for the dang Mr. Olympia, the Arnold. That's the big bodybuilding show right now. But I'm talking to the general bush because you're probably a gamer. You eat too many chips or whatever. You're just not pleased with how you look. Your doctor's telling you you're not healthy. Hopefully the bush can give some big old tips and advice, of course, of how to be your best average bush. The last thing, number 5, kind of honorable mention, but food tastes better, and Friday nights I still have, a dinner, whether it's like Mexican food, Cheesecake Factory, okay, not that expensive and yummy. But since I'm used to eating low-fat, low-calorie foods, it makes it a lot easier to enjoy. And, when I have days like that where I know I'm gonna eat a big meal, I'm just not gonna snack in between. Instead of eating 5 times, I'll eat 4, 3, whatever. Just cut it down, make sure you're eating more volume. Yeah, you'll be good. So there's a little hack to, if you're trying to track your progress, all that, just eat more filling foods less frequently throughout the day. I know the holidays, which is a long ways away, but those will be very hard, like Thanksgiving, Christmas. I know it's where a lot of people, they say they cheat, they give up, they just go back to their old ways. But it does not have to be like that. Of course, you want to enjoy what you're eating. You still want to eat stuff that your family might eat, whatever. Food really should not be your biggest relationship, because your relationship is with other bushes, not what you put in your dang mouth. So yeah, guys, that's all I freaking have about why you should try to be healthy. Of course, I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But me, the big ol' bush, I am just stating why focusing on my health has made me a better person, because I really had no direction before that with bodybuilding. That is a sport of my choosing. Of course, you don't have to copy me word for word, but it just gives me something to work on. Being an adult and all, I just go to work, go home pretty much. Not have aspirations to do things, but that's kind of life right now. Gotta get up early, grind, yeah, make money. Trying to reach out to people, of course, that have like full-time jobs, they're working on homework all day, whatever, they just don't have a bunch of time like all the fitness influencers do. And I'm trying to be realistic and say they can still fit fitness into your life without making it your whole personality. Follow TikTok, Instagram again if you haven't. Probably not going to plug it a second time. Editor Bush does not get paid enough for that. Of course, I don't get paid for any of these dang videos. I just like expressing my opinion, helping you bushes, of course, that have watched me, game for years. Still game, of course you enjoy that. I'm not telling you what to dang do in your free time, but just prioritize your health a little bit, because it'll make all that much difference, when you're old, and you're going to look back and regret not listening to Bushmaster Harry. Anyways, guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you bushes later. The hell's that?